right, 106.3 WJSE, the Rock Alternative. Damn, that feels great to say. It feels great to say. And I'm happy to be sitting here with Jon Katity of Behind the Beautiful. And you also have a couple other things going on around town, too, which have been going on for even longer than the radio station. Obviously, the second rendition, but I believe the first rendition as well as 106.3, Stellar Mojo.
Yeah, we've been together for a long time, man. Yeah, a lot of good years, man. It's been about a decade playing with John King, and everybody who's come and go since then is just phenomenal musicians, and I'm so lucky to work with those guys. You know, right now, we all kind of miss each other. You know, everybody's doing some other things right now, but we still had a better year than a lot of other people. So we're very lucky, and I'm just lucky to be surrounded by such amazing, talented people. They're amazing.
It's good to have you, man. It's good to have you. So, Behind the Beautiful, that's also been a long project of yours. I remember starting off, man, I was like 15 years old, and I want to say we played a show with you at the Nazarene Church, and I pass by it every once in a while on like 47. Mm-hmm. Is that where it's at? Yeah. And that's been a while. I mean, I'm 30 now, so half my life ago played with you guys.
Yeah, it's my life's work.
Yeah. Well, the new album, Some Antics, it's released. It's out now on all streaming platforms. Tell me a little bit about the album.
Well, I kind of had to go away and learn how to do everything a little bit better, I felt, all those years ago, and that's why the cover band scene happened, and I am lucky to have worked in it for so long. I've just picked up so many things and gotten better at my trade and met so many amazing people. So I demoed out these songs, some of them a while ago, some of them like 7-8 years ago, but I just never did anything with them. Passed them around, showed my friends and other musicians, and I got great feedback from everybody. So it just kind of continued and morphed into, let's try to record this at home. That sounds pretty good, but, you know, the drums don't sound that great because, you know, we don't exactly have the right spot and we know what we're doing. So, like I said, I've met so many amazing people. One of those groups of people was the people at the Gradwell House in Haddon Heights, New Jersey. Dave Downham over there, Matt Weber, everybody. They're amazing artists in their own right, and they just got such a great drum sound, and just morphed into, well, this really sounds good. We should put it out, you know? So, and like I said, everybody's so talented. Everybody in Behind the Beautiful basically is Stellar Mojo.
Right.
It's like our secret little rock album. So, you know, on drums, it's Joel Bermudez. On pianos and keys and fake theremin is Donald Junebug Roel. And hometown boy, Joey Blong. And same for Kinger, John King, did backup vocals on it. Joey played bass. Lindsay sang on it. So it was a family album, man.
Very
you know,
nice, yeah.
So it felt good to get that out because we had never really done anything like that together before. And yeah, you were able to hear it, and I think it came out pretty decent.
You know, it came out really decent. I really like the way it came out. Sonically, going up to Gradwell, obviously, it was a great decision. They made it sound as professional as you could get a recording to sound, in my opinion. It hits at those certain parts. Dynamically, the album is very well written. It's very well played. And, I mean, kudos to you, man. I
Thanks,
dig
man.
it a lot.
It really means a lot. Thank you.
So, we've been playing Still Love Me.
Yep.
Which you've got a music video out for. You've got a couple of music videos which haven't all been released yet, right? Correct?
So we did one for Runaway, which is the second track off the album. And me and Joel just went out to the woods near his house to this pit. And there's this little trail, creepy little place. And we did some fun stuff out there. You can check that out on YouTube. But it's kind of like, you know, we just went and did it ourselves because, you know, if you don't have the means, you just do it. This second time around for the second single, we had a little bit of a budget. So I got Kurt Foles from Sirius Cinema, who is an absolute artist, so amazing, to shoot it, direct it. And we wrote up a little story, and I had my two friends that are dancers come out. They're both professional dancers, but like I said, right now everybody's doing different things because of quarantine. So I was able to kind of work with people that might have been too busy otherwise, and that's been a blessing in disguise of this year. It's, you know, you have to make the best of what you have and just kind of keep pressing forward. So yeah, that came out, and we have a bunch of other things planned. I have a lot of things recorded, a lot of video files, and a lot of audio files that will eventually come out.
Of course, but Still Love Me. You went with an interpretive dance style video, which I really enjoyed. You know, coming back from Florida, I obviously was working at Disney. I was working with a lot of people who were doing theater, were doing interpretive dance, and I feel like that speaks to the song in a specific way that it just fits. What gave you the idea to do it that way?
I think I'm always interested in placing restrictions on yourself, why we do it, how you can benefit from it, what's the right and wrong way to do it. There was always that thing with the White Stripes where he only recorded with so many tracks, or they only worked with those three colors, red, white, and black. I find that kind of stuff interesting. So anytime, I'm also a big David Lynch fan, so anytime you can do something an odd way, you know, to kind of enhance a story, it's a visual art form. So I think the last decision that really clinched it, because I always wanted dance. I always wanted a kind of a dance sequence. I don't know why that popped in my head, probably just because I wrote the song for my fiance, and, you know, when I think about her, I want to dance with her. But when we got on set and started shooting the video, I was asked, well, can I like say something? One of the dancers, Amanda D'Souza and Michael Tomlinson were the dancers on the video, both amazing. One of them, I forget who it was, asked me, can I like say something, or should we like have a conversation even if you can't hear it? And I'm like, you know what? I don't think I want to do that at all. I think I just want you guys to remain, don't even like mimic or mouth words. If you feel like you need to say something, put it into your emotions, you know, because it's a visual story, you know, and the words are there in the lyrics, so the dialogue is already part of the song, right? You know, so you want something else. And I think it really put them in a creative spot to where they felt free to not have to like act, to just literally be a dancer and interpret. And we all had a lot of fun that day.
Yeah, it turned out really great. I really like the video.
Thanks, man.
It looks great, and all of it it came together very well. And once again, kudos, man. Thanks. The things that we kind of talked about off the air not too long ago about, like, you know, the name of the album, Some Antics.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, why you went with that name, Some Antics.
Well, I write the lyrics, so it's obviously something that like I enjoy, like wordplay. Okay. You know, I like I'm working on a soundtrack album for the We Would Be Dead podcast, which my fiance does with Holly Knapp, and it's amazing. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, check out We Would Be Dead. Amazing true crime podcasts. They always say we're just two moms talking about murder, but they're a lot more than it's journalistic. Yeah. It is really intensive, the amount of work that they put into this. But I'm doing a soundtrack album for them, and every title of the songs on the album is something like transcosmological or like pariahbilicus. They all have these like hybrid names, so I'm really into this idea of actually I already have the album title for the next album, which we can talk about more because the first song is going to drop in January.
Perfect.
So we're already gone to the next one, but I think that one's going to be called Fellowships.
Okay.
I think it's funny how most of the time when I talk to people and see people, and I do have a certain kind of vantage point to society being like on a stage and kind of sequestered from people in like the not this year so much, but in like for the last decade, I just kind of sit there and like you watch me and I'm watching you too. Right. So I feel like it gives me like a certain perspective, you know, on people. And I feel like, not to brag or anything. I'm just a regular human like anybody else. We all used to be a shrew. But from what I can see and interpret, it seems like we're all saying pretty much the same thing. Mm-hmm. We're all telling the same story. Mm-hmm. You know, we woke up here. There's things we need to do to survive. There's things that we're afraid of. There's things that bring us extreme happiness. There is large gaps in our knowledge that are unknown, and we fill them in with things because that kind of freaks us out a little bit. You know, it's just part of our survival mechanics.
Right.
You know, we want to feel safe. It makes us feel unsafe. We create a story to tell ourselves. We've been doing it for as long as we've been a species, you know, like drawing in the sand, telling each other little stories and stuff like that. And basically, to me, they're all the same story. It's one reflection of a general sentiment that we all have, but it's just the flavor that you put on it. It's the colors that you paint it with. It's the semantics in which you tell your tale that, you know, make you unique, you know, make you you. And I appreciate everybody's story, you know, but I think we should all remember that we're all basically going through the same exact experience. We're all afraid of the same things. We all want the same things. We're just expressing it in different ways. And that's part of what the lyrics on this album are about, and that's part of what, you know, the title's about, and part of the way I see people in the world. It brings me a certain kind of peace. You know, it's like the last song on the album is called I Am Not Alone. Mm-hmm. You know, and I say a whole bunch of specific, really specific, all, I'll admit it, 100% true things in my life. But even though they're so specific to me, I know that in a certain kind of way, they apply to everyone. You know, so I know I'm not alone. You're just like, I know what you're saying. Even though I haven't done that specific thing, I've done something that makes me feel very much like what you said. Right. We can all relate to these general sentiments. We want love. We want safety. You know, we want to feel creative. We want to feel free, whatever that means to you. Right. You know, right. It's just about how you're expressing it, you know. And I think that's part of the beauty of music, too, because it allows you to express things in certain ways that you wouldn't normally, and kind of break the mold of how you're thinking about things or saying things. You know, you hear a good record and you hear a good one-liner, that can change your day. Right. You know, that can change your mind about an issue or something like that. I think artists are so important, you know, on the whole, like as they serve society, because it really makes you rethink about language, about what these ideas are, you know, because you're hearing them to a beat. Right. It's magic.
No, it's true, and I think it goes back to songwriting, music, everything. If you can generalize it, then I've always felt that that's a good song. You know, you can generalize that feeling, even though you've taken something so personal and made it public. Then you've done it right.
We're all not that different, man.
Right, exactly. So, influences. I hear a lot of different influences.
So many.
You have talked about it. And it's funny because we probably share a lot of the same influence, but in different aspects of both of our songwriting. As a musician, I know different influences shine through in different areas, and you've managed to hit every single one of your influences in a different way on this album, I feel like. So tell me a little bit about your music influence.
If you're going to steal from the best.
Yes. But it's not, all right, so not steal. Maybe that came out a little wrong, but it's not stealing.
No, you didn't say that. I said that. I'll say that, man, because, you know, that's what it is. Like, there's only, you know, so many notes. Right. There's only so many chords, like even all the different variations on the chords, you know, but then you start getting down to like finger pressure and like how much like this guy bends his wrist a certain way, and everything does sound different. But a lot of these kind of, especially genre specific types of songs, which this is definitely a genre album, you know, almost like a horror movie is like a genre movie, you know, at least that's the way people look at it usually. I hate that whole discussion. That's a discussion for another time, the word genre. But yeah, so I just listen to a lot of music, and it's never one thing. I can name you something in every style of music that I like. You know, there's country artists I like. I listen to a lot of hip hop. I'm a huge Childish Gambino fan, and Kendrick is amazing. I listen to metal, even though I don't play metal. You know, I saw Between the Buried and Me and Animals as Leaders. Like, I just take in everything. And I feel like, especially being in the cover band industry for so long, I learned how to be a better sponge. And when you wring all that out, that's the sauce.
Right.
That's literally the juice that is worth the squeeze.
Right.
And so I just tend to take in a lot of music. But some of the direct influences, you can probably hear in my voice, like vocally, Claudio from Coheed, Chris Carrabba from Dashboard, Jim Atkins from Jimmy Eat World, Daryl Palumbo from Glassjaw and Head Automatica.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know his name, but the singer of this band called the Spill Canvas was hugely influential on me. Copeland. It's lots of stuff like that. Back in the day, it was guitar music.
Right.
It was pop music, but it was guitar music. And the lyrics were sung in a way that was very passionate, and I felt like they meant what they were trying to say, and they weren't trying to sound nice. Or at first, like aggressive music, it was just about like, I have to say it this way. Right. You don't understand. I feel really strongly about this, about the way she treated me, or about the way I treated her. Like all those old emo songs are great like that because you just really feel like the passion. It's not sung like placidly or passively. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
Even when it's serene, there's so much tension.
Right. You can feel it. You can feel the emotion. You can feel what they're saying. Yeah. That's important to me because we both grew up in the same generation as well, and I'll never forget sitting there and recording a track and just listening back to it. I'm like, I don't like it, and I'll record it 100 times until I can feel it because that's the way you got to do it. But then, you start overanalyzing. You're like, do I sound too whiny?
Yeah, there's a point with this kind of music to where you got to be like, how much of my authenticity am I sacrificing to sound quote unquote good? Because sounding good is always in the ears of the beholder.
Right.
So it's, you just have to be satisfied. You got to die satisfied.
Yeah, exactly.
In the end and on these albums, you be like, you got to just get it good enough to where like it feels good and then not overthink it. Ask me how many times I've listened to the album since it came out. Right. Not once.
Not once?
I have to for like promo stuff and people playing it around me, but like I did all my obsessive listening to it in the car before it came out. Now that it's out,
it's done.
Yeah, it's like it's the same reason you don't try and like learn songs on stage. You can, but like if you're really putting on a show, you do your practicing. You get good at your instrument, get good at your song before you get up there. And then when you get up there, you don't worry about it anymore. You let it all go and you just be yourself. And hopefully you've made yourself into the right kind of thing for the moment. Right. I feel the same way about like recordings. It's like you do as good a job as you can, and then when you put it out, it is what it is. Own it. That was me at that time. It's like a little picture, I'm not going to Photoshop my belly fat off of my album. Dude, I worked hard for this. Right. No, that's what I sound like. I don't want to remember that.
That's a great way to put it. That's a really great way to put it. So, we got you here in the studio. You've got your guitar. Play us a song from the album. I want to hear something. It could be Still Love Me. It could be another track off the album.
Yeah, why don't I play you something different?
Yeah.
I've been trying to keep a straight face. I've been trying to keep my chin up, but I can't put the bottle down or a pen to a page. I've been making my confessions. I've been trying to tell the truth, but the thoughts add up and the pressure builds, and I don't know what to do. So I run away, somewhere dark where no one can find me. I run away. I could drive all over town, I could never be found again. But it seems the spotlight's found me, so I've been singing real loud. But I can better look at anyone, so I stare at the ground. I anticipate a sleepless night and I'll probably get high. There's a fair amount of healing that I need to get done so I can sing tomorrow night. So I run away, somewhere dark where no one can find me. I run away. I could drive all over town, I could never be found again. Somewhere dark where no one can find me. I run away. I could drive all over town, I could never be found again. We will never be alone, side by side in the unknown. So I run away, somewhere dark where no one can find me. I run away. We could drive all over town, I can never be found again. Somewhere dark where no one can find me. I run away. I could drive all over town, I can never be found again. Somewhere dark where no one can find me. I run away. I could drive all over town, I could never be found again.
Alright, man. Nice. Check out the album Some Antics, Behind the Beautiful. Once again, Jon, thank you very much for coming in, man.
Jim, thank you so much, man.
Alright, we're stoked to have you in. And, of course, we got more brand new music here on the Brand New Music Show. How original, right?
It's perfect.
Sunday nights, 106.3 WJSE, 5 to 7. Let's keep the music going.